Hi Virgo, how are you? Welcome to your March reading. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, and Venus. However, if for some reason I caught your attention and you just wanted to click on this video because the title was eye-catching, you know, it was inciting in some way or enticing in some way, just whatever made you click on this video, do know that you were brought here for a reason, and so I do hope that you hear all that you need. Coming into the month of March, you guys have maybe come across this Three of Coins energy, followed by the Strength card, Leo's card, with the King of Swords and the Five of Cups following that. So what I'm getting here is that you guys, although you know that everything works out in the end, works out for the greater good, all about threes, Holy Trinity, as well as just socially and communally, so things that extend outside of just your personal self. So although you understand that all of that will be okay in the end, no matter the challenges that you may face in life, the periods of darkness, the periods of silence, the times of loneliness, it's like there's something about the idea of having to wait or having to work or take a risk on something that kind of makes you lose faith in it altogether, in the belief system altogether, in the fact that you can have love if you've been single. Everybody says it comes when you stop wanting it, you know, when you stop looking for it is when it happens. But I haven't necessarily been looking for love, but on a soul level you have. There's that sense of desperation, which the universe can of course pick up on, because you are the universe. So when you know that, then you have to understand that you have to get to a place where you enjoy being by yourself as much as you enjoy having company. And also to that point, like if you're not going to take the time to figure out what it is that you're really looking for in a partner, which you can only ask for as much as you know that you've developed on a character level to be able to ask for those things, because you can also do them, and you're really in search for a helpmate, right? You want somebody that's going to be in it with you, and not just because of you and or because of what you can do. And this can be vice versa energy. But you have to really be able to express in the drop of a hat. I'm hearing the drop of a dime. I'm not sure why that's coming through for that with the water. But you really have to be able to express in the drop of a hat, right, what your deal breakers are, what your standards are, where your boundaries lie, what your worth is, how it's not wrapped up in materialistic things, like outside of that, just on a very basic level. But you really have to be able to express them and or exclaim them without giving it a second thought, and without second guessing your ability to make the most knowledgeable choice for the moment, for the experience, in the time being, right, in the present. Because I feel like to some degree with this loss of hope or whatever it is that you feel by the end of the month, and why you find yourself moping behind a damn box or in a corner somewhere because you don't want people to see you cry, but that's another topic for another day. The universe is like, well, bruh, like I was really finna give you what it is that you asked for, but since you want to sit there and mope about it, you're really not gonna see it. You have to get up and you have to walk out the door to see it. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you wanted. I was really about to grant you a wish. Because of all that you've done in the past 7 months, because of all that you've gone through in the past 7 years, I was really about to bring your Cinderella. I was about to bring your wife. But then you said God isn't real. You stopped believing in the promise. You stopped believing in yourself. I couldn't give you what you wanted or what you've asked for in the past 7 years because you haven't done any work for it, right? This can go either way. Maybe you haven't really moved much yet. kind of taking on the negative aspects of Leo energy and how they can be like lazy. Because if you think about it, like the lions and lionesses are always kind of like sunbathing, if you will. They do more relaxing. It's more chill vibe. If that's the mode that you have been in, it's kind of taking it up a notch. You're turning the dial, okay? You're going from 1 to 2. As you can handle more, you're putting more on your plate, right? Or at least you have the desire to. Behaviorally, you know what you have to do. But it's putting the motivation behind it and being able to sustain the motivation. So it's like you're not only in it for like 1 day or 1 week before it's just no longer of interest to you. Figuring out a way where you can consistently stay involved enough to remain interested enough to see some things through. That's what you're going to be working on this month. Those that have been struggling, working on pride and ego, those concepts, and how you could have burned some bridges, very literally, like some relationships, because of your ego and or your attitude. Sorry, it reads from here this way, if it'll focus, right? So this is like employment misconduct because you are having like a verbal altercation with someone. This is just because you are inappropriate, or you just don't know how to talk to people, you don't know how to delegate tasks, and or maybe be like timeliness is an issue, and or it's having to deal with just a relationship in general that you didn't leave on good terms, like irreconcilable differences is kind of the thing that has happened. And so that bridge is burned. It's not a relationship, somebody that you could rely on in the future that you would call if you were in need of anything. So maybe you're taking a look at that, because those have been some of the patterns that you have been slightly noticing, and some are maybe getting a little bit progressively worse for those, again, that are on the opposite end of the spectrum of positive things that could come in, should you just choose to look up and look out and just have hope, and or to rediscover what your faith is, and not just simply trying to numb the pain because things aren't going the way that you thought they would be going, or at the rate that you want them to go. But again, you guys have to understand, because you're Virgo, that naturally your energy doesn't move that fast. So why rush now? You know, why are you trying to be so demanding now, if those are issues that are coming up of what it is that you see and are able to experience at this point in your life? Everything is coming together. Everything will come together. But again, if you go from one moment to being divinely inspired and or excited about something, and then the next minute you're not so hopeful, you start thinking and feeling like unsure or uncertain of things and whether or not you actually deserve them, like if you're worthy or not, dealing with concepts of worthiness, then the universe is not going to know what to do, how to help you. So help yourself by picking a conviction and sticking with the conviction. If one day you wake up and you say, you know, I am like going to be a billionaire, I will be on the Forbes list. Okay, believe that. Write that down. Draw it in a picture form. Make a sigil if you're into those types of things. Also, you have to write down the steps that are required to get you there, so you can always reference back, right? To keep yourself accountable. If that's what you want to do, you can of course do it. You can be it. You can be anything. You can have anything. You can do anything. Okay? Again, you are the breath of the universe. And all others that exist, the universe is. You can be that billionaire. But it's all fine and dandy when you say it this year and you do things this year that have some sort of progression to them. You're seeing certain movement this year, so it's okay to get a little bit excited because you feel like things are going to take off in the next, how many months do we have left? Like 9 months or so? You feel like you'll get there? Okay, but then what happens in 2020? When, though you're still having those moments of success And yes, you should definitely be in the moment and enjoy those periods of success. Celebrate the small victories as they come, as they happen. Don't be so caught up in the moment and what that big moment, what that final moment is going to look like once you really achieve what it is that you've been striving after the win for all of this time. But again, going back to that, in 2020, what happens if all you get are, again, those still small victories? Okay, it's been, you know, a little over a year. I can handle that. But what happens if it takes 5 years or 7 years? Then are you going to start to get in your head and feel like, oh, maybe you were too surrealistic, too optimistic, idealistic? There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Just blowing smoke up your ass, that you don't really have what it takes, that you aren't a powerful being. You know, you start to doubt yourself and your abilities. Your self-esteem goes down. Then everything else in your life is a reflection of how you feel of self. So everything else goes down, and then you lose a job, and then you're no longer being able to put money into this billionaire that you want to become, right? That image that you have of self. So, you know, pick what you want to believe so that life can unfold accordingly. You keep putting in those mixed signals, mixed messages, you're going to get that in your reality. Given that you are choosing to continually be like that, you have no right to complain. You will anyway. I mean, you do have the right to complain. You have free will. You can do whatever you want, knowing that there is a consequence, but you essentially can do whatever the hell you want. But if you don't push yourself through the 5, if you don't push past the discomfort, you won't change, and things won't ever change. So really, all of this is up to you. What are you going to do with the energy to change it around, to sustain it, to improve upon it, or what have you this month? I do want to know, so hit me up in the comment section. But as far as your chakras are concerned, your sacral chakra, root chakra, throat chakra, you do have some cups energy, so work on the heart chakra if I didn't say already, and the third eye and crown. But if this reading did resonate for you, do give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, and do subscribe for more as well. If you want to book a personal private reading or session with me, you can hit me up at my email, which I will leave here for you, as well as in the description box. So if we don't chat in the comments or when you book with me, then until we do speak again or you hear me again, do take care of yourself. Ciao.